Hey everybody, how are you? I hope you guys are good. Okay, so I was going to do this live, but I had a lot to get through, and it's easier to explain it in a video where I'm not getting all, Okay, so I think that we have found the connection between this area and what is really going on. I have found similarities and consistencies between Trinity's case and Kiely's case, and it's with the adults involved and what they're involved in. Okay, now, again, this is just my opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. Take it and do research on your own. Okay, research it yourself. All right, so check this out. Let me pull this up. All right, as we know, as we know, Lindsay is involved in some dark stuff, and we kept trying to figure out what's the community. There's a big thing here with community, and we've thought about different cults and different this, but after seeing everything that I saw today, I really believe that this is what it is. I think this is what Lindsay is into. This is what her family is into. And I found a connection between them and Sunshine Fowler, okay, who is Frances Fowler's mother. He's the boyfriend of Trinity. All right. So this is crazy, you guys. All right. So the Druidism, all right. Druidism is basically this big umbrella with all of these pagan religions tied to it. As in the ASA True Community, which is what I believe what we are looking at. I believe the ASA True Community is what is happening here. That's the link between the two cases. That's the link between the families, and that is the community that everybody is talking about. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna walk you guys through this. So please stick with me. I'm gonna ask everybody, please hit that thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. And if you want to become a member, just hit that join button and you can become a member of the CNY family. Okay. So let's jump right into this. All right. So here is, it's Asatru. I hope I'm not saying that. I might be saying that wrong. It might be Asatru. That probably sounds better. It's probably Asatru. So if I said that wrong, I am sorry. Okay. But Asatru is a pagan guide, or it's a pagan religion. Okay. Everything you need to know to start practicing Asatru and discovering the magic of Norse paganism, Viking mythology, and the poetic Edda. Are you curious about Asatru but don't know where to begin? Or maybe you want to learn about the myths and legends surrounding our northern gods. Either way, by the time you finish this book, you will be well on your way to embracing the Viking spirit and all it has to offer. Okay, now I will go into a little bit about what the Asatru is, and then you guys can obviously go. I'll put links to these down in the description below, and you guys can go check them out for yourself. But okay, so it's the religion of pre-Christian Northern Europe tribes ancestors of modern Scandinavians and other Germanic peoples who practiced it before the introduction of Christianity to Europe. Asatru is based on Norse paganism and mythology. It embraces a complex heathen worldview that includes the belief in several deities, concepts about death and the afterlife, and understanding of cosmology and magic and runic beliefs. Okay, but just think about this. For every religion, every group, everything always has a good side and a bad side. There's a negative to every positive. So keep that in mind, because the ASA True have had real shady backstory. Okay. So hold on. Let me let me show you guys. Okay. Let me change this. I'm sorry. Let me change this for you guys. I'm going to take you over here. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. So just stick with me. I promise I'm going to make it all make sense. Okay. All right. Stella Natura is the light of ancestral fires. They have it in the Tahoe National Forest. Okay. It is for the ASA True religion and the ASA True community. That's who attends this. That's who this celebration is for. Autumn equinox. So I'm going to show you some pictures. Okay. This article, the guy who attended, what it is a 3-day music festival. Okay. And they have different things that go on there. People sell things. It's a music festival, basically. But it's for the ASA True Community, the ASA True Folk Assembly. Okay. Okay, so it's the bands as well as the audience were primarily of the pagan inclination. The ASA True Folk Assembly was involved in supporting the festival and had a table in the merch area. Like many belief systems, ASA True definitely sounds good on paper, and if I were a joiner or searching for spirituality, I'd definitely be interested in exploring ASA True. On the other hand, I can definitely see the belief system being used to rationalize exclusion or even racism, which makes it the same as any other religious system, I guess. Okay, so this is some of what goes on at the festival. They had a ton of bands there. They have a ton of bands there. But notice the antlers, notice the blankets. Just notice some of these things, okay? There's different videos on this. You can actually go on YouTube. They have some videos of the music festival and all of that. So these are all the different bands that played. Just going to scroll down so you guys can see all these pictures. Again, I will put a link down in this down in the description below, so you can go and check this out if you want to read through it. It's crazy. You guys just wait till you're like, oh my gosh, there's the connection. Because I really believe this is what it is. It makes sense. It's too many, though. It would take forever to go through all of this. This guy tells you about all the experience he had while he was there. He's obviously a journalist and, you know, went to go and experience this. I mean, I let you guys decide for yourself what you think. Huh. That looks familiar. Doesn't that look familiar, you guys? There's the guy who starts and ends the program. He's wearing this kind of getup. Okay. Now, let me take you over here. Let me show you some of these pictures. Okay. Let me zoom in on this one. I'm going to show you guys. Got to share my screen. Okay. Sorry about that. All right. So let me pull this up. And we're going to look at all the similarities and all the things we noticed in Kiely Rodni's case. I just got to get down here. Sorry. And then I'll show you how it all ties in together into Trinity's case and where the connection lies. Okay. Look at this picture. This is an ASA True celebration of life. Notice the lady in the cloak. Odd, right? Remember Kiely's celebration of life? And they had the lady in the cloak, and we were all going, what in the hell? And then they had the tables set up with the antlers and the blanket, the particular blankets that they used, and the cleansing table. It all fits into this. It all fits into this ASA True community. If that does not do it for you, let me show you this. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. It's so hard to even put it all together. I mean, it's so hard to even just, like, I could say it so fast, but I got to show you at the same time. So it's because I just want to blurt it out there. All right. Now look at this picture. This is for the ASA True Folk Assembly. Look at this. Remember the middle finger and those Lindsay and the kids at the celebration and the middle fingers? We said it was all, look at this. It's the wheel. It's the pagan ASA True. It's this pagan wheel. That's what they were doing. It all makes sense, right? Now, let me show you this big ass thing that you have to go through to become part of this community. Now, before I do that, and I show you this big ass pamphlet, I'm going to take you over. But you guys, I'm telling you, screenshot this, take a picture of this, screenshot this, put it up next to the picture of them in the middle finger, doing in the circle, the day at the celebration of life. I said there was something way off about that celebration of life. It was a total pagan thing. And I believe it was this ASA True Community, this ASA True Folk, okay, which is under the umbrella of Druidism, which I'm going to make even a bigger connection to that in just a minute, okay? So just go with me here. But I'm telling you that is what those middle fingers were. It was their community's thing, okay? Their religion, right? Okay, so please hit that thumbs up, you guys. All right. Now, let me show you. Let me share this screen with you, okay? I'm going to bring it over to Trinity's case for a second. I'm pulling it up. Sorry. I'm going to bring it over here. Miss Sunshine Fowler. All right. Now, this is a Facebook comment from Sunshine Fowler, June 28th, 2019. And I'm going to tell you why this is important. Okay. This is what she said. I feel a lot of love for this community. Recently, I met several members in person for the Midsummer Blot and Sumble and feel even more connected. I appreciate the welcoming spirit and enthusiasm for sharing information. All right. Blot and Sumble. Okay. Now remember that. Now this is from Sunshine Fowler. All right. I'm going to take you over to this now. Don't forget that. Blot and Sumble. First, I'm going to share this with you. This is from the Asatru Community. Congratulations to our newest clergy, Sunshine Fowler, September 13th, 2020. Hal, please join me in congratulating Sunshine Fowler on their completion of the clergy training program, the ASA True Community. This pagan group community, okay? Now she's a clergy member. All right. Now this is the boyfriend's mom, remember? Okay. Now, let's go over here to that Blot and Sumble. Let's see. All right, the Blot. Let's figure out what that means, shall we? The Blot is the most common ritual within Asatru. In its simplest form, a Blot is making a sacrifice to the gods. In the old days, this was done by feasting on an animal consecrated to the gods and then slaughtered. As we are no longer farmers and our needs are simpler today, the most common Blot is an offering of mead or other alcoholic beverage to the deities. Many modern folk will be suspicious of a ritual such as this. Rituals are deemed sacrifices, such as the Blot, have a certain lurid connotation and have been falsely reinterpreted by post-pagan sources in order to denigrate or trivialize them. The most common myth about ritual sacrifice is that one is buying off a deity. Example, one throws a virgin into the volcano so it won't erupt. Nothing could be further from the truth. The other common misunderstanding of sacrifice is that the purpose is to gain some type of energy from the action of killing or the fear or suffering of the animal. This is also untrue. If you do any kind of slaughtering, ritual or mundane, correctly, there is neither. Our ancient spiritual what the hell does that say? Forbears were slaughtering animals because they were farmers, and sacrifice was simply a sacred manner of doing so. In the way one might invite a friend to dinner, that bounty would be shared with the gods. So, the blot is the most common ritual within Asatru. Asatru. I really hope I'm saying that right. In its simplest form, a blot is making a sacrifice to the gods. Now again, not jumping to conclusions here, not saying anything. It could have been mead and alcohol. But she did say that she experienced that. Okay. Now let's go over and find out what a symbol is within this religion. All right. One of the most common celebrations noted in tales of our ancestors is the symbol or ritual drinking celebration. This was a more mundane and social sort of ritual than the blot, but of no less importance. When Beowulf came to Hrothgar, the first thing they did was to drink at a ritual symbol. This was a way of establishing Beowulf's identity and what his intent was, and doing so in a sacred and traditional manner. The symbol is actually quite simple. The guests are seated, traditionally in some formal fashion, and the host begins the symbol with a short statement of greeting and intent, and by offering the first toast. The horn is then passed around the table, and each person makes their toast in turn. At the symbol, toasts are drunk to the gods, as well as to a person's ancestors or personal heroes. Rather than a toast, a person might also offer a brag or some story, song, or poem that has significance. The importance is that at the end of the toast, story, or whatever, the person offering it drinks from the horn, and in doing so, drinks in what he spoke. So, there's that. Okay, that's way too big. Again, I will link all of this down in the description below.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to take you over here. All right. This says, Nevada County-based white supremacist group, the ASA True Folk Assembly, recently secured a permit. Now, this was December 27th, 2020. Recently secured a permit to establish a whites-only church in Minnesota, though one is already established and active in neighboring Yuba County. The ASA True Folk Assembly was founded in Grass Valley, California in 1994 by Stephen McNallen. Southern Poverty Law Center declared the AFA as a hate group in 2018, calling attention to the cross-section of hyper masculinity and it's so hard to see. Hold on, let me zoom in a little more. And ethnocentricity. SPLC goes further, saying this movement seeks to defend against the unfounded threats of the extermination of white people and their children. The assembly has since made its way to the small town of Murdoch, Minnesota, where the assembly hoped to quietly pass this permit. In 2015, the self-proclaimed ethnic European faith group acquired the former Grange Hall in Brownsville, California, where they are still active to this day. Further investigation suggests multiple residences in the Northern California mountains including a business address in Nevada City, California. The AFA utilizes folk builders to recruit new members into the White Power Church, while Stephen McNallen utilizes YouTube videos to further their agenda. In one video made in 2017 with 40,000 views, McNallen says, "We need to change our attitude. We need to say, I will defend my race. I will fight for my race primarily with words and ideas, but I will fight more literally if I have to." He continues to read the series of tenets written by David Lane, a member of the neo-Nazi terror cell, The Order, well-known post 1984 for its commitment to a campaign of hatred, murder, and the bombing of synagogues. Later wrote these guidelines to secure his ideals that the white race cannot share gods, religion, technology, food, women, territory, or anything of value with another race, stating that the oppressive dictatorship was likely the only way to attain the racial segregated future he imagined. Now, in this other thing I'm going to show you, and there's actually FBI files, because the ASA True Folk Assembly was investigated by the FBI for being a racist movement. Now, it is said since then, which was years and years ago, I think it was 2002, I want to say, they were investigated by the FBI. But they have said that since then they've gotten rid of all of that racism and all of that white supremacy stuff. So they're no longer about that, which I will show you in the bylaws. Okay. The bylaws of the ASA True Community. Asatru, probably. I think I keep saying it wrong. But anyway, you guys know what I'm saying. Okay. Hold on. I wanted to find. So I showed you where Sunshine is a clergy member to the Asatru Community. Then her post about the community. I'm missing one to show you guys. And then I showed you the wheel, which I believe 100% is the middle finger that they did at the celebration. You guys, it looks just like it. I would bet on it. All right. Now I want to show you this before I go into the bylaws of what this group says, right? All right. Okay. I got this on Twitter from Lost Souls put it out. Okay. Frances Rose Botto passed away peacefully with her family present on October 16th, 2019, after a third battle with cancer. Frances is survived by her son, Gary Botto, and daughter-in-law, Janelle Botto of Truckee, California, grandsons, Michael Botto, Truckee, Jeff Botto, Verdi, Chris Botto, Truckee, and Jeff's wife, Whitney, and their 3 children, Caden, Adeline, and Hunter. Frances was the youngest of 7 children born to Peter and Christina Mucci, both Italian immigrants. They all have preceded her in death. Frances Nani Botto was born in Escalon, California. She graduated from Linden High School and Stockton College. Her father worked for the railroad. Her brothers Alex and John and sisters Anne, Savina, Mary, and Florence were born in different towns in California. Frances grew up on farms, the first in Escalon and the second in Linden, California. She went to school and business and always prided herself on her abilities as an office manager, bookkeeper, and business professional. She was also proud that she worked for the same family for 63 years and retired at the age 85. Frances was the Grand Arch Druidess in the state of California for the Druids. She made lifelong friends in the Druids and was especially proud of their college scholarship program. Frances moved to Reno in her retirement so she could be closer to her family. She then moved to Truckee 4 years ago. She was loved by many and a grandmother to all. So she lived in Reno to be closer to her family So I'm guessing her family lived in Reno, and then she moved to Truckee 4 years ago. She was the Grand Arch Druidess in the state of California for the Druids. Again, the Asatru group falls under the Druid umbrella, pagan umbrella. Now, she lived in Reno, so there's family in Reno. She lived in Truckee. Okay. Oh my gosh, and I didn't even tell you. Hold on, which is crazy. And we wonder why everybody is so hush hush in this freaking in his community. All right, now let me show you guys, because I had this pulled up and I didn't even show you. I hope I didn't close it out. Hold on a second. Oh, right here. So I had this pulled up to show you the ASA True. Look where it is. Look where this bookstore is located. Donner Pass Road, Truckee, California. Man, there's a lot of freaking connections here. Okay? And not only that, but when you take into account all of this, look at all the consistencies in this case. Now, I'm not saying that they are connected. I'm saying let's just look at the consistencies. Okay? Shoes or lack thereof, 1030. You guys with me? Different stories. Different inconsistent stories from those involved. I don't know, you guys. Makes sense to me. Okay. Now I want to show you. Hold on, and I'll get into these bylaws. I just want to make sure I went over every picture that I had. Up here. I'm telling you, the cloak to the celebration of life, to the antlers and the altars that they have, to the wheel with the middle fingers, the pagan wheel. We have the connection. Oh, and not to mention that Sunshine Fowler, who is a clergy member of the ASA True Community, was also at Kiely's celebration of life. Okay. All right. That's a lot of connections. That's a lot of shit. Both 16 years old, both tall, pretty, skinny, no shoes on, both 1030 came up. I mean, there's too many things here. Okay. And now let me show you let's go over a little bit of these bylaws. And again, I will put all this down in the description below, so you guys can all go check it out for yourself. All right, so let's look at this. The Asatru Community Inc. bylaws. Last updated January 4th, 2021. Look at all this. The ASA True Community will be run as a nonprofit organization and shall be operated exclusively to foster and grow the religion of Asatru worldwide. We provide networking, events, community, and religious services for those seeking to connect with the Asatru worldwide via our ambassador program, charter membership, our clergy training program, as well as our various community, military, and outreach programs. The ASA True Community is funded via gifts and donations from the community, and also the exchange of products and services rendered by the ASA True Community. All services, products, and goods shall be used for the sole purpose of funding projects that foster community and growth of heathenry worldwide. The organization is organized exclusively for charitable, religious, and educational purposes under Section 501c3 of the Internal Revenue Code. All right. The organization shall have the power, directly or indirectly, alone, in conjunction with, or in cooperation with others, to do any lawful acts which may be necessary or convenient to affect the organization and its finances or its operating as a nonprofit. The powers of the organization may include, but are not limited to, the acceptance of gifts or funds, donations from the public or private sectors, whether financial or in-kind contributions, as well as to operate as a nonprofit outlined by the state of California. To operate as a church as outlined by the IRS 501c3, and to have all the powers and abilities therein. Insane. Oh, and before we go on, remember that Sunshine Fowler comment that I just read where she said that she was so happy to join the community. She met a bunch of new members at the Blot, which is the sacrifice to the gods, and the Sumbel. She said she met a bunch of members there, right? And if you remember, Lindsay throughout the whole thing, every time she would talk about the community. I'm so happy to be a part of the community. I'm so happy to join the community. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So they have a president, vice president, board chairman, Hydraian, director of religious affairs, director of public relations, director of ambassador program, director of military affairs, treasurer, and founder. Okay. They have social media administrators and moderators. Types of membership. There are 2 types of membership with TAC. Each has its own process and is independent of each other. An online membership. Applicants to the online groups are accepted based on information obtained via their social media profiles. We reserve the right to investigate not only the public social media profile of the applicant, but any acquaintances, friends, and other group activities. Online membership is not automatically guaranteed, and although applicants can request to take their application under review and provide additional information to help determine eligibility, TAC retains the right to deny membership to anyone. Or there is B, charter membership. Applicants are accepted based on the thorough information that is provided via the application. TAC reserves the right to reject any applicant based on lack of information provided. TAC reserves the right to request additional information, put applications into internal review, or decline applicants until such time as we can gather the correct information. Applications can take an indeterminate amount of time to process, as we may need to investigate applicants further. Applicants with pending requests are under review will be sent correspondence. Applicants can appeal the rejection of any application via the appeal process set out on the article Appeals. We have the right to deny memberships to anyone whom we do not deem fit for membership in the ASA True Community. Okay, that's just the application process. Tells you everything that you have to write down, everything you have to have. All right, let's see. Meetings. Who can attend, who cannot attend. If you're not high up enough, you do not attend. Let's see. Any charter member or non-charter member can apply to perform duties with TAC at any time. All right, so yeah, that's all that. That's what each person does. The board of directors, what they're responsible for, finances. How funds are used. All funds donated to the ASA True Community or ASA True Community for any purpose are to be used as at the sole discretion of TAC for religious purposes, organizational needs, or in ways that will benefit the heathen community. The funds may not be used for personal gain or any activity that would be considered a corporate venture, an investment, or any activity that is seen as a nonprofit, or I'm sorry, as a profit. All funds will be used in accordance with IRS Section 501. Yeah. Baloney. More baloney. All right. Okay, violations. When it is reported or discovered that a charter member has violated either our bylaws or our code of conduct, the following steps will be taken. A charter member that has violated either the bylaws or code of conduct will be temporarily blocked from accessing all Facebook groups. This should be completed by the PR director or deputy director. The Hydriton will contact the member that violated our rules and inform them of the actual code or bylaw that was violated, and that they will be temporarily blocked from accessing our sites until the claims are investigated and confirmed. Within 72 hours, the Hydriton will work with the PR director and admin team to investigate the claims and then present findings to the board for a vote on the consequences of the infraction. Possible outcomes are a limited time ban, 30 to 60 days, removal from specific pages but remain a member, or if the infraction is conduct detrimental to the community and TAC, membership will be revoked. Voting procedure. Hydriton or PR director will present the findings of the investigation to the board. If the infraction involves sexual harassment, every caution will be taken to protect the name and details of the harassment confidential. Once the information has been presented to the board, a vote will be cast by each member of the board pertaining to the actions the board will take in the case. A simple majority vote will determine our course of action. So basically, if there's a sexual assault and two people on the board want to vote to do nothing, then it, you know what I'm saying? The majority wins. I didn't mean two people. I meant, the majority says, hey, we're not going to do anything, then they don't do anything. That's crazy. Once determination has been made by the board vote, the Hydriton will reach out to the offender and deliver the decision. After that, all of the parties will be informed of our decision and course of action. There is an appeal process if you want to appeal yourself. Oh my God, this is insane, you guys. There's so much to read. It's crazy, but it makes sense. So let me say all of this again, okay? Druidism is a huge umbrella in which there's a bunch of pagan religions that are under that umbrella. One of them being the ASA True religion, the ASA True Folk Assembly, the ASA True Community. Okay. Sunshine Fowler, Trinity's boyfriend, Francis Fowler, his mother, Sunshine Fowler, is a clergy member in the Asatru Community. I showed you that. Okay. I showed you the lady who was the Grand Arch Druidess of the Druids in California, who lived in Reno and then in Truckee. Okay. I showed you the Asatru store, or the bookstore where they sold the Asatru books on Donner Pass Road in Truckee. Look at the celebration of life for Kiely. It had all the makings of an ASA True celebration of life. Look it up. The altars, the lady there in the cloak, all of the signs. It's all there. And then the middle fingers in the circle. It's the pagan sign. I showed it to you. It makes total sense. So don't you just think it's odd that Kiely's mother, I believe, was involved in this religion? Sunshine Fowler, who is involved in this religion, she was also at Kiely's celebration of life. There's something off here. And look at all of the consistencies, I will say it again, between the two cases. Both young, pretty girls, 16 years old. 10:30 in the story. Bong hits in the story. Stories were changed 3 or 4 times within the first 24 hours. It's a lot, you guys, and it makes sense. But I really think that that's the connection. They're all in this pagan, worshiping, weird ass, dark shit. But let me know what you guys think. Please hit that thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Okay, now, before we go, there's one more thing that I want to show you guys, and we are going to go over. Again, I will put the link down to this in the description below, and you can go and read all 15 pages of it if you want to. All right. Now I got one more thing to go over with you guys. All right, now I got this clip off of, I don't know where Watts the Obsession found it, but I've heard it before, but I could not find it. So I'm gonna play this for you. I think this is very important. And think about the Reno 911 call, scanner call. Okay, now listen to this. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I've said it before. When shit like this happens and people like this want to tell me it's fake news, I'm going to bet that it's 100% true. Bullshit. When you come out and you talk about this and you think it's important enough to bring it up, to make sure you make it a point to tell people that it's fake news, I'd say that 95% it's not fake news at all. That is important. if you want to help us squash the truth and only put out what we tell you, then please share our posts. 100% don't believe this lady. Fake news my ass. I'm calling bullshit. Okay, now that's important, you guys. And those of us that have talked about this 911 call, that have looked into it, that have looked into the gated community, I am telling you, I believe in my gut that was 100% had something to do with Kiely. And this lady right now wanting to call out and say that's fake news, bullshit. That makes me believe it even more. All right, now let me close this stuff out because there's one more thing I want to show you guys. Well, not one more thing. I meant a couple of pictures I want to show you guys. Okay, let me pull this up. Where is it? Hold on, you guys. Sorry. I'm getting it pulled up for you guys because you guys got to see these freaking pictures. Let me find it. It's of okay, you know what? I don't have them up here. So I'll put that out in a second video tomorrow morning. I will include the rest of what I couldn't include tonight. So please hit that thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. And please consider becoming a member of the family. That'd be awesome. And anybody that wants to help out the channel, support, help the family, you guys appreciate what we do. Links are down in the description below if you want to help out the family and make a donation. I really think, you guys, this is crazy, but this makes a lot of sense to me. This ASA True religion, this ASA True group, just read through it all yourself. Let me know what you guys think, but I can see the connection and I can see what is happening here. All right, so let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. We love you. Stay strong, stay healthy, stay safe. Keep asking those hard questions and we might get somewhere. Thank you guys. Have a good night.